They tell you the first time inside changes you. The second time, that's a choice. I'm Frank Mallory, 58, ex-con, mechanic, and apparently the only person in Riverton, Maine, who thinks my granddaughter Lena didn't rob that pharmacy. The probation office smells like burnt coffee and fear. I sit in the plastic chair, hands folded, while Officer Henshaw taps her keyboard with 2 fingers like she's defusing a bomb. Your quarterly check-in looks clean, Frank, she says without looking up. Job steady at Pete's garage. 7 years. GED completion. Passed the exam. Been volunteering with Second Chance workshops for 2 months now. She finally glances at me. That's the prison program. Yep, teaching basic mechanics to guys getting out. Figure I can relate. Henshaw nods, makes a note, then she pauses. Her face does something I don't like. Frank, I saw the news about your granddaughter's appeal. My jaw tightens. Yeah. Denied. Final ruling came down yesterday. 12 years stands. I already knew. Lena's lawyer called me from his car, voice flat, like he was reading a grocery list, but hearing it again in this cinder-block room makes it real in a way that twists my guts. She didn't do it, I say. Henshaw's eyes go soft. Pity. I hate pity. Frank, the jury saw the evidence. She was driving the car. Her boyfriend Cal was inside. The pharmacist identified them both. Cal used her. She didn't know what he was doing. Then why didn't she testify? Because Lena's stubborn as rust on old iron. Because she has this code about not snitching, even when she doesn't know what she'd be snitching about. Because she's 19 and scared and thinks keeping quiet makes her strong. I don't say any of that. She's innocent, I repeat. Henshaw sighs, closes my file. Keep your nose clean, Frank. You've got 2 years left on supervision. Don't mess it up trying to fight a closed case. I stand. My knees creak. Everything creaks these days. Outside, the October wind comes off the harbour cold and salty. Riverton used to be a mill town. Now it's tourist shops and lobster shacks 6 months a year, boarded windows the other 6. I walk past the old Union Hall, converted into a boxing gym nobody uses, and pull out my phone. One new text, unknown number. I open it. It's a blurry photo of a computer screen. An access log. Date stamped, the night of the robbery. A badge scan at Riverton General Clinic loading dock, 11:47 p.m. The badge ID number is visible. I know that number. I've seen it on a lanyard around my son Daniel's neck 100 times. City procurement officer. His ID opens municipal buildings, contractor lots, and apparently clinic service entrances. My phone buzzes again. Same number. Your son buried her. Want to know why? I stare at the screen until my vision blurs. Then I dial the number back. It rings once. Twice. Voicemail, generic carrier message. I hang up, pocket the phone, and start walking toward the bus stop. My head is full of noise. Daniel wouldn't. He couldn't. But the badge number doesn't lie. And if my son helped frame my granddaughter to save his own ass, then I'm going back inside to prove it. Not as an inmate this time, as a volunteer, because nobody watches the guy who's already done his time. Nobody expects the ex-con with the tool belt to be the one asking questions. I pull out my little notebook, the kind with the oil-stained cover, and write down the badge number. Beside it, I write, Daniel. Why? Then I add, North County Correctional starts Monday. Get close to Cal. Find out who's really pulling strings. The bus pulls up. I climb on, sit in the back, and watch Riverton slide past the window. The wedding invitation is in my jacket pocket. My son's wedding, 3 weeks away. Fancy venue by the marina. His fiancée Ava, all teeth and PR polish, already sent me a card with the dress code. Business formal. No jeans. No work boots. She wants me there to smile and play the reformed father. Proof that Daniel came from nothing and made something. I'll be there. But not for pictures. By the time the bus drops me at my apartment building, I've got a plan. It's not clean, it's not legal in the margins, but it's mine. I'm going back to prison to save my granddaughter, and if I have to burn my son's career to ash to do it, so be it. Before we continue, we ask you to subscribe and like the video to help the channel grow. Tell us which city you are from in the comments. We would like to get to know our audience better. North County Correctional sits on 12 acres of scrub pine and cracked asphalt 20 miles outside Riverton. The fence is chain link and razor wire, the guard towers manned by bored COs drinking gas station coffee. I've seen it from both sides now. The view doesn't improve. I park my truck in the volunteer lot Monday morning, engine ticking in the cold. The Second Chance Workshop coordinator, a tired woman named Ms. Ortiz, meets me at the gate with a clipboard and a laminated badge. Frank Mallory, mechanic instructor. That's me. She hands me the badge. My photo looks like a mugshot. Appropriate. You'll be working in the vocational garage. Classes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons. 2-hour sessions. Tool inventory is strict. Every wrench, every screwdriver, counted in and out. If something goes missing, we lock down. Understand? I did 3 years here. I know the drill. Her mouth twitches, not quite a smile. Right, follow me. We pass through the sally port, metal detector, pat down, surrender my phone, my keys, my belt. I sign the visitor log with a pen chained to the desk. The CO processing me is new, younger than my truck. He barely looks at my ID. Inside, the air smells like industrial cleaner and old fear. The vocational wing is a low building, cinder block and fluorescent lights. The garage bay has 3 busted cars in various states of undress, a rolling tool chest, and a whiteboard covered in grease pencil notes. Ms. Ortiz introduces me to Officer Pete Talbot. He's mid-40s, soft gut, mustache like a caterpillar. He leans against the wall, thumbs hooked in his belt, watching me like I'm something he stepped in. Mallory, heard about you. You're the guy who cracked Sully's jaw during the union strike. Sully cracked his own jaw when he swung a pipe at my head. Talbot grins. Sure. Just remember, you're a guest here. You don't get to play tough guy with my inmates. They step out of line, you tell me. Clear? Crystal. He doesn't move. Testing me. I don't blink. Finally, he pushes off the wall. Class starts in 10. I'll bring them in. Ms. Ortiz leaves. I set up my tools on the workbench, counting each piece, writing the serial numbers in my notebook. Habit from the old days. The serial number on a stolen tool can sink you faster than a confession. The inmates file in, 6 of them. Cuffs off, but Talbot stays close, hand near his radio. I scan faces. No Cal yet. That's expected. They'll keep him separated from me for a while. Protocol. Anyone connected to a volunteer's family gets flagged. I start simple. I'm Frank. I fix cars. You're here to learn how. Some of you will use this when you get out. Some of you won't. Either way, you're going to show up, pay attention, and not steal my tools. Questions? A kid in the back, maybe 22, raises his hand. You really do time here? 3 years. Assault. You sorry? I look at him. I'm sorry I got caught swinging second. A couple of them laugh. Talbot frowns. We spend the next hour on basic engine components. I keep it hands-on. Pass around a carburetor, a fuel pump, let them feel the weight. Halfway through, Talbot gets a radio call. He steps outside. That's when I notice the camera dome in the corner. The red light is off. Broken or just not recording, I can't tell. One of the inmates notices me looking. I file that away. When class ends, Talbot herds them back to their blocks. I stay behind, cleaning tools, counting them back into the chest. All accounted for. I initial the log sheet, date it, note the broken camera dome in the margin. Then I see it. A maintenance ticket taped to the wall near the door, barely visible behind a fire extinguisher. I pull it out, smooth it flat. Dome camera, intake corridor C, inoperative, submitted 1014, Assigned to Officer P. Talbot. The date, 2 days before the pharmacy robbery. I take a photo with my eyes, fold the ticket back exactly as I found it, and walk out. The Riverton Public Library smells like old carpet and microwaved soup. I sit at a computer terminal in the corner, away from the teenagers doing homework and the guy watching YouTube with no headphones. I open a browser, navigate to the State Freedom of Information portal, and start filing requests. First, Riverton General Clinic receiving logs for the 2 weeks before and after the robbery. Public records, technically. The clinic is part of the county health system, which makes their inventory movements subject to disclosure. It takes 15 minutes to fill out the form. I pay the $5 processing fee with a prepaid card and hit submit. Second, City of Riverton vendor contracts, specifically security services, dated within 3 months of the robbery. Third, municipal building access logs for the night of October 16th. I know most of these will take weeks. Bureaucrats move slower than frozen syrup. But I need the paper trail started. If this goes to court later, everything has to be documented, requested, logged. My phone buzzes. A text from Maya Rusk. Maya is 29, broke, and runs an investigative blog called Riverton Unfiltered out of her studio apartment. She's sharp, hungry, and has a nose for dirt. We met at a town council meeting 6 months ago when she was digging into zoning corruption, and I was there because my landlord got cited for electrical code violations he blamed on me. We got coffee after. She liked that I didn't bullshit her. Her text, got something. Coffee? I meet her at the diner on Harborview, the one with the cracked red vinyl booths, and the waitress who calls everyone Hon. Maya's already there, laptop open, cold fries on a plate beside her. Frank. She doesn't look up. Her fingers fly across the keyboard. I slide into the booth. What do you have? She spins the laptop around. It's a spreadsheet. Riverton General Clinic inventory, cross-referenced with pharmaceutical distributor shipments. Red highlights everywhere. I foyered this last year for a piece on opioid diversion, Maya says. Never published it. But look at this. 3 weeks before the robbery, a pallet of oncology antiemetics, anti-nausea meds for chemo patients, shows up in receiving. High-value stuff. Not opioids, but tight control because of cost and scarcity. And 2 weeks later, the pallet count is short. By a lot, but no shrink report filed, no internal investigation. It just vanishes from the records. I lean forward. How much are we talking? Street value? Maybe 40 grand if you're selling to clinics that need to restock fast and don't ask questions. So someone was skimming before the robbery. And the robbery was cover, Maya says. Classic misdirection. Big loud crime. Everyone looks at the junkies with the gun. Nobody notices the quiet inventory bleed. I pull out my notebook, write it down. Can you cross-check city vendor contracts, security companies? She grins. Already did. Your city switched security vendors for municipal health sites 48 hours before the robbery. Previous company, local, had been in place for 8 years. New company, out of Portland, no track record. Contract expedited through procurement. Who signed off? She taps a key. A scanned document fills the screen. Signature at the bottom. Daniel Mallory, procurement officer. My son. I feel it in my chest, cold and sharp. Thanks, Maya. You going to tell me what this is about? Not yet. She studies me. You're going after your own kid, aren't you? If he's dirty. She closes the laptop. Be careful, Frank. Guys like your son, they've got lawyers and friends. You've got a record and a toolbox. I've got the truth. Truth's expensive. I drop a 10 on the table for her coffee and leave. I sit back on my stool, the piece of paper between my fingers. The message on it is simple, but it gnaws at me. Check Clinic Bay 3 camera. Not pills, people. Cal's handwriting is messy, but the urgency is clear. I'd seen that look in his eyes earlier when Talbot cornered him. Fear, but not of the usual kind. He wasn't afraid of Talbot. He was afraid of something else. I fold the note carefully and slip it into my pocket, the weight of it heavy against my chest. The garage is quiet now, except for the hum of the overhead lights. The inmates are gone, and the COs have cleared out. It's just me and the wrench, the empty tool chest, and the aching silence that feels louder than anything. I pull out my phone, the familiar screen lighting up in my hands. No new messages, no missed calls, nothing unexpected. But the message is still there, repeating in my head. Check Clinic Bay 3 camera. What the hell is going on in there? The clock on the wall ticks over to 3:30 p.m. I should be done for the day, wrapping up, heading home. But my mind's racing, and there's no way I can leave without figuring out what Cal's trying to tell me. I lock up the garage and slip out the back door, making my way through the winding hallways of the prison. The place smells of disinfectant and steel, and I feel like I'm walking through a maze. Clinic Bay 3 isn't far, but I'm already thinking 2 steps ahead. If Talbot's involved in whatever's going on, I'm going to need to be careful. The hall leading to the clinic is narrow, and the fluorescent lights flicker overhead. I keep my head down, trying not to draw attention to myself. The clinic doors are heavy, metal, and there's always a CO posted outside. As I approach, I see a guard leaning against the wall, looking at his phone. It's Officer Hernandez, a no-nonsense guy who's worked this facility for longer than I've been here. He doesn't look up as I walk past, but I can feel his eyes on my back. Clinic Bay 3 is a small room, used for minor medical procedures, mostly routine stuff, checkups, bandages, a bit of stitching here and there. There's a camera in the corner, the lens pointed toward the examination table. It's always been there, but I've never paid much attention to it. I'm about to reach for the door handle when I hear footsteps behind me. I turn to find Officer Hernandez watching me, a quizzical expression on his face. Hey, Mallory. What's going on? I freeze, trying to keep my face neutral. Just checking on something. The usual stuff. He raises an eyebrow, but doesn't press the issue. You know Talbot's been in and out of here, right? I nod. Yeah, I know. He tilts his head, glancing toward the door. You sure you want to go in there? Some weird stuff happening in that room lately. I meet his eyes, searching for any hint of what he's talking about. What kind of weird stuff? Hernandez hesitates, then lowers his voice. Just keep an eye out. That's all I'll say. Don't get too close to the wrong people. I'm about to ask more, but he cuts me off with a slight gesture, indicating I should move on. The warning hangs in the air, thick with unspoken meaning. I don't wait any longer. I push the door open, my hand still tight around the torn paper in my pocket. The room is dim, the lights flickering with the same erratic buzz as the hallway. There's a low hum from the old medical equipment in the corner. The camera's on, but it's not like I expect to find anything obvious. I'm looking for something hidden. The desk in the corner is cluttered with papers and a few old medical files. There's no one else here, which feels strange. Normally, there's at least one nurse or a CO standing guard. I move toward the back of the room, where the camera feed is monitored. It's a small monitor, showing grainy black and white footage of the room. I recognize the angle. It's a shot of the examination table, the one with the worn leather seat. I squint at the screen. There's nothing unusual about the video, but as I'm about to turn away, I notice something. A figure, barely visible, moving in the far corner of the frame. It's quick, almost too quick to catch, but I know I saw it. My heart races. I rewind the footage, but the image disappears. There's nothing left but static. Frustration spikes in my chest. I rewind again, watching closely. This time, I see it, a flash of movement, too quick for anyone to register. A hand reaching out. I stop the video, freeze the frame. The hand belongs to someone familiar, someone I've seen in the halls before. Talbot. My pulse quickens. Talbot's been in here. But why? What was he doing? I pull out my phone, fingers shaking as I take a photo of the paused screen. I can't afford to leave evidence behind, but this is enough to start digging. I turn to leave, but something catches my eye. The door behind me is slightly ajar. I don't remember leaving it that way. I creep toward it, keeping my movement slow, measured, but before I can get close, the door swings open suddenly, and I nearly jump out of my skin. Mallory? I whip around to find Officer Hernandez standing in the doorway, a stern expression on his face. You're not supposed to be in here. I was just, no more excuses. Let's go. He's not shouting, but the authority in his voice is unmistakable. I don't argue. I follow him back down the hall, my mind reeling. Hernandez knows something. He warned me, but he didn't say enough. I can't shake the feeling that I've just scratched the surface of something much deeper than I expected. Back in the garage, I sit down, staring at the wrench in my toolbox, the cold metal reflecting the overhead light. The note in my pocket burns a hole through my jacket. Cal had given me a warning. He'd seen something I need to understand. But there's a bigger picture here, and Talbot's at the center of it. I've made it this far without getting tangled in the politics of this place. I've kept my head down, stuck to my job, my lessons, my routine. But now, I'm in too deep, and there's no way out. I pull out my phone again, opening the photo of Talbot on the screen. The grainy image flickers as I zoom in on his face, trying to see more. But it's just a shadow, a moment in time. But it's enough to make me question everything. I don't know what's happening in this prison, but I'm about to find out. That night, I sit in my apartment with the lights off, looking at the note. Not pills. People. What the hell does that mean? My phone buzzes. Text from Daniel. Dad, Ava wants to finalize the seating chart. You're at table 12 with Mum's cousins. Let me know if that works. I don't answer. Another text. Also, we're doing a gift registry. Don't feel obligated. Your presence is enough. I turn off my phone. Thursday morning, I skip the garage. I need to follow up on the clinic angle, and I need to do it without Talbot breathing down my neck. I call Ms. Ortiz, tell her I've got a stomach bug, reschedule Friday's class to next week. Then I drive to North County and sit in the parking lot across from the main gate, waiting. At 9:12 a.m., a white van pulls up to the service entrance. Private security logo on the side. 2 guys get out, both in cheap uniforms, radios on their belts. One of them is Talbot. Off-duty, technically, but working for the vendor. I take photos. Not great quality, but enough. The van pulls away. I follow. It drives straight to Riverton General Clinic. I park 3 blocks away, walk to the clinic, enter through the main lobby like I'm visiting someone. The volunteer at the desk barely glances at me. I take the stairs down to the service level, following signs for receiving pharmacy. The service corridor is narrow, lined with industrial shelving and rolling carts. I find Bay 3 by the numbers stenciled on the wall. There's a camera dome above the door, red light on. I make a note. The bay itself is locked. I peer through the wire-reinforced window. It's a loading dock, empty except for some pallets, and a rolling stainless cart. On the far side, a metal door with a push bar. I try the handle. Locked. I'm about to leave when I hear voices. I step into a utility closet, pull the door almost shut, and watch through the crack. 2 people enter Bay 3. A woman in scrubs, mid-40s, 2 phones clipped to her belt. And Talbot, they're arguing low and fast. I told you, the logs are clean, the woman says. Nobody's looking at October. Mallory's looking, Talbot says. He's asking questions. Who the hell is Mallory? Ex-con, volunteers at the prison. His granddaughter's the driver from the robbery. The woman, I'm guessing Nell Crawford, the inventory supervisor Maya mentioned, swears softly. He can't prove anything. The shrink report never got filed. The pallet's off the books. He's got access to Cal. Then make sure Cal stays quiet. They leave through the far door. I wait 5 minutes, then slip out and head back upstairs. I stand in the parking garage, the faint echo of Jimmy's footsteps fading as he disappears into the night. I stare at the RFID scanner in my hand, the weight of it heavy in my palm. The clinic logo is prominent, the tape with the security badge unmistakable. It's a key to something, but I'm not sure what yet. All I know is that it's bigger than Nell Crawford, and it's bigger than the bullshit Talbot's been trying to pull. This is something organized, something with layers. I slide the scanner into my jacket pocket, making sure no one sees the movement. It's not a criminal case yet, but if I'm right, it's damn close. The garage is empty now. The faint smell of oil lingers, mixing with the cold concrete. I take a last glance around to make sure no one's watching and head toward the exit. My car's parked across the street. As I walk, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched, like there's someone lurking in the shadows just out of sight. It's the kind of feeling that makes your spine itch. I get in my car, lock the doors, and sit there for a moment, the engine idling. I pull out the phone again and check the photos I've taken. The first one is of Talbot, the moment I froze on the clinic camera. The second is of Jimmy, his face wide-eyed with fear, that exact same look from when I grabbed his arm in the garage. Both photos are shaky, but they're enough to give me a thread to pull on. I open the Notes app, staring at the words that Nell said in the parking garage. I just deliver, man. I don't ask questions. That's the line that stays with me. Something's not right about this delivery. A padded envelope, a stack of cash. Those kinds of transactions don't happen by accident. I'm still thinking about it when my phone rings. The number isn't one I recognize. I answer without hesitation. Hello? Mallory? It's a man's voice, low and steady. My stomach sinks. I know this voice. I've heard it before, but I don't know where. Who is this? I ask, my hand tightening on the wheel. It's Hernandez, he says. Officer Hernandez. I sit up straighter. The hairs on the back of my neck rise. Hernandez was the one who warned me off in the clinic, but this call is different. There's a sense of urgency in his voice. Where are you? He asks. Why? You're about to walk into something you don't want to be part of. I'm giving you a heads up. I grip the phone tighter. What do you mean? You don't need to know everything right now, but trust me, you're getting too close. Someone's been watching you, and I'm telling you, it's not safe. My heart skips a beat. Who's watching me? I can't say right now. I don't know how long I can keep this call on the line. Just lay low. Leave it alone. Get out before you get pulled under. I'm about to say something. I sit there, staring at the screen for a long time, the silence almost suffocating. Hernandez is a good guy, at least as far as I can tell. He's been a constant in the corridors, always keeping things steady. If he's telling me to back off, then this is serious. Too serious. But I can't back off. Not yet. I start the car and drive, heading back toward the parking garage. I don't know what Hernandez was trying to warn me about, but something tells me I'm not done with this. I can feel it in my gut. This is just the beginning. As I drive, I think back to the little pieces of this puzzle I've gathered so far. Nell Crawford, the deliveries, the RFID scanners, and the mystery of Clinic Bay 3. They're all connected. I can feel it. But how? What's the link between Talbot, Nell, and whatever's going on in that clinic? When I get back to the garage, the place is as empty as I left it. I park in the same spot, taking a moment to look around the deserted lot. I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm walking into something much darker than I expected. The garage doors are locked, but I know the code to get in. I punch it in quickly, the lock clicking open, and I step inside, closing the door behind me. The familiar smell of grease and metal fills my nostrils. The place feels colder now, quieter. I head straight for my toolbox, pull out the scanner, and study it under the overhead lights. It's just an RFID scanner, but something about the security badge on the back catches my eye. The city seal. The procurement watermark. It's official. Too official for something to be going on under the radar. This wasn't a simple theft or a few misplaced items. This is a coordinated effort to smuggle something. But what? I turn the scanner over in my hands, tapping the surface as I think. Jimmy said he didn't ask questions. But I have questions, and I'm not about to stop until I have answers. I grab my phone and open the photos again. I scroll through the ones of Talbot, of the scanner, of Jimmy's face. But nothing stands out except for one thing, the clinic logo on the scanner. It's the same logo on the files I saw in the clinic earlier, the ones Talbot had tried to keep hidden. I'm about to make another round of calls when my phone buzzes again. This time, it's a message. It's from Hernandez. Get out of the city. It's too dangerous. I throw the phone on the workbench in frustration. The message, the warning, it's too late. The deeper I dig, the more tangled I get in this mess, and I can't back down now. I have one more place to check before I can get answers. The clinic. There are things there, things that don't add up. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I have to go back to where it all started. I pull on my jacket, grab the car keys, and head for the door. There's no turning back now. Saturday morning, I meet Daniel for coffee. His idea. He suggested the place, a hipster joint downtown with exposed brick and overpriced lattes. I order black coffee. He orders something with oat milk and cinnamon. Dad, you look tired, he says. I'm fine. Mom's worried about you. She says you're not returning her calls. I've been busy. With the prison thing? I nod. He stirs his coffee, not looking at me. I'm glad you're doing that, giving back. It's good. I don't respond. Ava and I were talking, he continues. After the wedding, we're planning to renovate. Her stepdad knows a staging company. We were thinking, maybe, if you're open to it, you could move into a smaller place. Something more manageable. We'd help with the cost, of course. You want my apartment? He blinks. I didn't say that. You just did. Dad, it's not like that. We're trying to help. Your lease is month to month and the building's going co-op. We thought... You thought you'd swoop in and take it? His face hardens. That's not fair. I lean forward. You signed off on a security contract 2 days before Lena got arrested. Want to tell me why? His expression goes blank. What are you talking about? Riverton General, new vendor, your signature. That's my job, Dad. I signed dozens of contracts. This one was expedited. No bid process. No review period. Sometimes we fast-track things. It's not unusual. I pull out my phone, show him the photo of the access log, his badge number, the loading dock, the timestamp. Explain this. He stares at the screen. His jaw tightens. Where did you get that? Doesn't matter. That's private city property. You're violating. Answer the question, Daniel. He stands. I don't have to answer anything. You're out of line. Lena's doing 12 years for something she didn't do, and your badge was there that night. I wasn't there. I was home. Then who used your badge? He doesn't answer. Ava appears at the table, like she was hovering nearby the whole time. Frank, she says, voice bright and brittle. I thought I heard raised voices. We're fine, Daniel says quickly. She looks at me. Are you harassing Daniel? Just asking questions. About what? Family business. Her smile doesn't move. If you're upset about the apartment, we can discuss it later. This isn't the time. I'm not giving you my apartment. Nobody's asking you to give us anything, she says. But let's be realistic. You're on probation. You live in a one-bedroom with no savings. We're offering to help. I don't need your help. She leans down, voice low. You know what I think? I think you're unstable. I think you're looking for someone to blame because you can't accept that your granddaughter made bad choices. I stand. Daniel steps between us. Dad, let's not do this here. I look at my son, at the man he's become. Polished, careful, owned. I'm going to prove she's innocent, I say, even if it means proving you're not. I walk out of Warden Ellis's office, feeling the weight of his words pressing down on me. Playing a dangerous game, he had said, but what choice do I have? I'm already in too deep. The pieces are scattered, and I'm the only one who's trying to put them together. If Ellis won't help, then I'll go around him. But I'm starting to realize that getting answers might cost me more than I'm willing to pay. The hall outside his office is quiet, the fluorescent lights humming overhead. I pass by the administrative offices, trying to keep my head down, but my thoughts are racing. Cal Berridge, Talbot, Lena, the missing tools, the clinic's strange happenings, the message in the parking garage. It all connects somehow. I can feel the pull of it, like a thread wrapped tight around my chest, and I won't let go until I've pulled it free. The rest of the day drags on. I sit through the second chance workshop, talking mechanics with the inmates, showing them the basics of brake systems, hydraulic lines, and bleeding techniques. But my mind's not on the lesson plan. I keep thinking about the form I filled out for Ellis, about how I'm supposed to meet Cal Berridge in a monitored room. There's a chance, just a sliver of one, that Cal knows what really happened during Lena's robbery. He might know who was behind it, and if I can get him to talk, I might finally get the answers I need. But there's a risk in that, too. Cal's not the kind of guy who talks easily. He's not a snitch, and he's already proven that he's got a lot more to lose than just his freedom. If Talbot's involved in whatever's going on, then Cal's probably been scared into silence. I'm going to have to tread carefully. The day passes in a blur, and when the clock finally hits 5 p.m., I'm out the door. I don't bother heading straight home. Instead, I drive to a diner just off the highway. It's a greasy spoon, the kind of place that doesn't care what you order as long as you pay the bill. I grab a booth by the window and order a coffee, then pull out the notes from my meeting with Ellis. I go through everything again, the timestamps, the serial numbers, the maintenance logs. Everything lines up, but it's still circumstantial. Talbot's got a lot of power in this place, and without hard evidence, I'm not sure I can take him down. I don't know how long I sit there, turning the pages in my notebook, lost in thought. But eventually, my phone buzzes. I glance down at the screen. It's a message from Hernandez. Be careful. They're watching you. I feel my stomach drop. Watching me. Who? I look around the diner, half expecting someone to be sitting in the corner, eyes trained on me, but nothing seems out of place. I type back a quick response. What do you mean? His reply is almost instant. They know you're asking questions, just don't get too close. I bite my lip, my mind racing. It could be nothing, or it could be everything. Hernandez has been in this game longer than I have, and if he's saying they're watching me, then I'd be foolish to ignore it. I finish my coffee, leave a tip, and head out to the car. The night is cool, the kind of crisp air that gets under your skin. I drive back to North County, the weight of Hernandez's warning settling heavy on me. If they're watching me, that means I'm getting closer to something, and I don't think it's something good. I park in the lot, glance around to make sure there's no one lingering in the shadows, then head inside. It's quiet this time of night, and the guards at the front desk barely look up as I pass. I know my way around the prison now, at least well enough to make it to the room where I'll meet Cal. The CO who's supposed to monitor the interview is already there, sitting in a chair, arms crossed. He looks bored, like he's done this 100 times. You Frank Mallory? He asks without much interest. I nod. Yeah, I'm here to talk to Berridge. He grunts and stands, unlocking the door to the monitored room. I step inside. It's small, a bare table between two chairs, a one-way mirror in the wall. I sit down, trying to keep my nerves in check. The air in the room feels heavy, like it's charged with tension. A moment later, the door opens, and Cal Berridge is led in by another guard. He's thinner than I remember, his face drawn with a few more lines than when I last saw him. His eyes flick to me, and for a second I think he might say something, but he doesn't. He sits down without a word, his hands resting on the table, his gaze fixed somewhere between me and the wall. The CO stands by the door, arms crossed, watching us closely. It's a silent agreement. I'm not allowed to get too close. No funny business. I clear my throat, trying to sound casual. Cal, thanks for agreeing to talk. He doesn't answer. I try again. I know you're not a snitch, but I need your help. Finally, he looks up at me, his expression hard but not unfriendly. What do you want? I want to know who really ran Lena's robbery, I say. And I think you know. I think Talbot's been keeping you quiet. Cal's jaw tightens. He leans back in his chair, staring at me like he's trying to figure me out. I don't push. I let the silence stretch, waiting for him to speak. When he finally does, his voice is low, almost a whisper. You're treading on dangerous ground, Mallory. I don't care, I reply, meeting his gaze. I need to know, and you need to stop hiding. Cal looks down at his hands. For a moment, I think he's not going to say anything else, but then he speaks again, his words slow and deliberate. You're right. Talbot's been keeping me quiet, but it's not just him. There's more going on here, bigger than you think. Who else? I lean in slightly, but not too much. Who's pulling the strings? Cal shakes his head, his eyes filled with something that's almost fear. I can't say, I won't. You don't get it, Mallory. If you keep digging, they'll come for you, and they won't stop until you're buried. I sit back, processing his words. Whoever's behind this, whoever's pulling the strings, is a shadow. Something dark and dangerous that has its tendrils wrapped all over this place. Talbot's just a pawn in it, a piece in a much larger game. I don't have a choice now. I'm already in too deep, and I can't stop. I have to know, Cal, I say quietly. Who's behind it? His eyes flick to the door, and for the first time, I see real fear in them. I can't help you, Mallory. The CO steps forward. Time's up, he says, his voice sharp. I stand up, my mind spinning. I know I didn't get the answers I was hoping for, but at least I have something. Cal's scared, and whatever's going on in this prison has teeth. I walk out of the room, my heart pounding, the weight of the conversation settling in. Something is coming. Something big, and I'm right in its path. Tuesday, I get the approval. Wednesday at 2 p.m., I'm in a cinder block interview room with a table, 3 chairs, a mounted camera, and a CO standing by the door. Cal Berridge is brought in, hands cuffed in front, wearing orange scrubs. He sits. The CO uncuffs him. Cal rubs his wrists, doesn't look at me. You've got 20 minutes, the CO says. Recording starts now. I nod. Cal, I'm Frank Mallory, Lena's grandfather. I know who you are. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help her, and maybe help you too. He snorts. Nobody helps me. Then help yourself. Tell me what really happened that night. He looks up. His eyes are hard, but there's something underneath. Exhaustion. Fear. I drove the van, he says. That's it. I didn't know what was inside. I didn't go into the clinic. Who did? I don't know. Cal, I've seen the logs, the broken cameras, the vendor switch. I know this wasn't just a robbery. Someone used you and Lena as cover for something bigger. He shakes his head. I can't talk about this. Why not? Because Talbot said if I open my mouth, I get transferred to Harmon. You know what Harmon is? Maximum security, violent offenders. Yeah, and I'm a skinny kid with no crew. I'd last a week. I lean forward. Cal, Lena's doing 12 years for a crime she didn't commit. You can stop that, right now. He looks at the camera, at the CO, back at me. If you don't, Lena's life is over. He's quiet for a long time. Then, barely audible. Check Bay 3, the side door. It's not about pills, it's about people. What people? The ones moving the shipments, the ones with the city badges. The CO shifts. Cal clams up. Time, the CO says. Cal stands. The cuffs go back on. As he's let out, he glances back at me. Don't come back here, old man. It's not safe. That night, I get a call from Maya. Frank, I've got something. Nell Crawford just dropped $2,000 at the Riverside Casino. I've got a source who works the floor. $2,000? She makes $42,000 a year as a clinic supervisor. $2,000 is half a month's salary. And this isn't the first time. She's been bleeding money for 6 months. I sit down. Gambling debt. Big time. And guess who holds some of her markers? A loan outfit connected to the same security vendor that got the city contract. You're telling me Nell's being squeezed? Telling you she's desperate. Desperate people do stupid things. I hang up, grab my jacket, and drive to the marina. It's Thursday night, and there's a charity regatta fundraiser. Rich people in boat shoes drinking wine on yachts. I spot Nell near the dock, standing alone smoking. I walk up. Ms. Crawford. She turns, sees me, tenses. Who are you? Frank Mallory. We need to talk. She drops the cigarette, steps on it. I don't know you. You know my granddaughter, Lena Mallory, the girl doing 12 years for your inventory scheme. Her face goes pale. She looks around, sees people nearby, lowers her voice. You need to leave. Not until you tell me the truth. She starts walking. I follow. We end up on the far dock, away from the crowd, near the moat dinghies tied to cleats. You're in over your head, I say. Talbot and whoever else is pulling strings, they're going to let you take the fall. I don't know what you're talking about. You've got gambling debts. You're being squeezed. The clinic inventory you helped move, the scanners, the side door access, all of it ties back to you. She shakes her head. You can't prove anything. I can prove you dropped $2,000 at a casino last night, on a supervisor's salary. She stares at me. Help me, I say. Tell me who's running this. I'll make sure you get a deal. She laughs, bitter. A deal? I'm nobody. I'm the paper trail they'll burn when this goes bad. Then burn them first. She reaches for her phone. 2 phones, clipped to her belt. She pulls the second one out, fumbles it. I lunge, try to catch it. The phone hits the dock, bounces, and falls into the water. No. She drops to her knees, staring at the dark water. I don't think. I just move. I kick off my boots and dive. The water's cold, dark, tastes like salt and diesel. I kick down, eyes open, see the glow of the phone screen sinking. I grab it, kick back up. I surface, gasping. Nell's still on the dock, staring. I haul myself up, hand her the phone. Water streams off me. You just saved my life, she whispers. No, I just saved evidence. The phone screen is cracked, but it's on. I swipe, see the apps, inventory software, logins. Talbot's username, 11. The phone glows in my hand, water dripping from the cracked screen. Give it back, she says. Not yet. I scroll through the inventory app. Logins from a dozen different IP addresses, all tagged with city subnet codes. Timestamps match the weeks before and after the robbery. Talbot's username appears over and over, accessing clinic records from locations he shouldn't be. City Hall parking garage, the municipal annex, even North County Correctional. How did he get your credentials? She's shaking. From cold or fear, I can't tell. He said it was for security audits, that the new vendor needed back-end access to verify the system. And you believed him? I didn't have a choice. The loan people, they showed up at my house, said I could help with a little data entry or they'd visit my daughter's school. I look up. You've got a kid? She nods, tears starting. She's 8. I'm not a criminal, Mr. Mallory. I just made bad bets and worse decisions. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Wedding day equals key handoff. Tie it with the speech. I stare at the message. Wedding day. Daniel's wedding. This Saturday. Who else knows about this? I ask Nell. I don't know. Talbot, maybe the vendor owner, and who? She looks away. There's someone else. Someone from the city who set the whole thing up. I never met them. Just got emails from a burner account. Let me see. She takes the phone back, wipes the screen, opens her email. Shows me a thread. The sender is just a string of numbers. But the tone, the phrasing, it's familiar. Professional. Calculated. One email stands out. Inventory adjustments must appear routine. Use the robbery as misdirection. Coordinate with site liaison for badge access and timing. The date, 3 days before the pharmacy got hit. Site liaison, I say. That's Talbot? I think so. Who sent this? I told you I don't know. I take photos of the screen with my phone. Every email, every login, every timestamp. You're going to testify, I tell her. I can't. Right now, you're the only one who can prove this wasn't just a robbery. She's crying now, mascara running. What do I do? You stay visible, public places, keep records of everything, and you wait for my call. I leave her on the dock and walk back to my truck, soaked and freezing. Friday morning, I'm back at Warden Ellis's office. He's not happy to see me. Frank, I approved one interview. You're pushing your luck. I need to review security footage from the clinic, the night of the robbery. That's not my jurisdiction. But you've got access through the county health system security sharing agreement. I looked it up. He sighs. Even if I did, I can't just hand over footage to a volunteer. I'm not asking you to hand it over. I'm asking you to let me watch it, here, in your office, with you present. Why? Because there's something on that footage that proves my granddaughter is innocent, and if I'm right, it also proves that someone working with your facility helped frame her. His expression shifts. You're talking about Talbot. I'm talking about following the evidence. He's quiet for a long time. Then he picks up his phone, makes a call. This is Warden Ellis. I need access to county health surveillance footage, Riverton General Clinic, dated October 16th, Bay 3 receiving area. Yes, I'll hold. He waits. I wait. Yes, send it to my secure terminal. Authorization code Ellis774. Thank you. He hangs up. I'm doing this once, Frank, and if there's nothing there, we're done. Understood? Understood. 20 minutes later, we're watching grainy footage on his desktop monitor. The camera angle covers Bay 3 from above, wide view. The timestamp starts at 10:30 p.m. the night of the robbery. For a while, nothing. Then, at 11:14 p.m., the side door opens. A figure in a dark jacket and ball cap enters, pushing a rolling cart. They move fast, loading cardboard boxes from a pallet onto the cart. Face never visible. That's not Cal, I say. How do you know? Cal's 6'2", this person's 5'8", maybe 5'9". We keep watching. At 11:22 p.m., the figure wheels the cart toward the far exit. But just before they leave, they pass a stainless steel supply cart parked near the wall. For a split second, the cart's polished surface reflects the figure's silhouette. I hit pause. There. Ellis leans closer. What am I looking at? The reflection. Look at the jacket. It's not a street jacket, it's a blazer. And that's a badge on a lanyard. He zooms in. The image pixelates, but the shape is clear. A badge. City seal visible on the edge. Whose badge? I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out. Ellis rewinds, plays it again. The reflection is brief but unmistakable. Frank, if this is what I think it is, it's bigger than Lena. It's conspiracy, evidence tampering, maybe more. He saves the file, locks his computer. I'll forward this to the county prosecutor, quietly. I need more time. For what? To figure out who's wearing that badge. Frank, that's not your job. It is now. Saturday morning, 2 days before the wedding, I file a public records request for municipal building card swipe logs. Specifically, The alley access point behind Riverton General Clinic, October 16th, between 10 p.m. and midnight. I pay the expedite fee, $50. They promise results in 48 hours. Meanwhile, I pull up the footage reflection on my laptop, zoom in as far as the resolution allows. The blazer, the badge, the height. Then I pull up photos from Daniel's campaign website, his official headshots. There's one where he's standing in front of City Hall, wearing a navy blazer, city badge on a lanyard. I overlay the images. The blazer cut matches. The badge lanyard matches. But the height doesn't. Daniel's 6 feet tall. The person in the footage is shorter. I sit back, staring at the screen. Then it hits me. Ava. I pull up her PR firm's website. There's a photo of her at a ribbon cutting, standing next to Daniel. She's wearing his blazer, draped over her shoulders like a shawl. 5'9", slim build, same silhouette. I call Maya. I need you to dig into Ava's background, specifically any connection to the hospital board or the security vendor. On it. 2 hours later, she calls back. Frank, you're going to want to sit down. I'm already sitting. Ava's stepdad, Gregory Hale, sits on the Riverton General Board of Directors. He's also a silent partner in the security vendor that got the city contract. The same vendor employing Talbot. My chest tightens. So Ava orchestrated the whole thing. Looks like it. Motive? Probably to create a PR crisis she could monetize. Her firm specializes in crisis management. Big robbery. Clinic needs new security, new protocols, media strategy. She positions herself as the fixer, locks in contracts, and her stepdad's company gets the work. And Lena was collateral damage. Worse, Lena was the scapegoat, young, broke, connected to a petty criminal. Perfect target. I feel rage rising in my throat, hot and bitter. I need the card swipe logs, I say. If Daniel's badge swiped that door after the reflection timestamp, it means someone else was wearing it. You think Daniel knows? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Sunday night, I meet Nell Crawford in a Denny's parking lot off Route 1. She's nervous, looking over her shoulder every few seconds. You said you had something, I prompt. She hands me a thumb drive. Emails, the duress ones, from the burner account. I plug it into my phone adapter, scroll through the files. There are a dozen messages, all from the same sender, all pressuring Nell to falsify inventory shrink reports and provide back-end access credentials. One email, dated 2 weeks before the robbery, reads, Stage the loss as theft. Coordinate with PD liaison for optics. Timing critical for contract rollover. PD liaison, I say. That's Talbot. I think so. But there's more. Look at the metadata. I open the file properties. The emails were sent from a mobile device, IP address traced to a cell tower near downtown Riverton, specifically near the building where Ava's PR firm has its office. She sent these, I say. I can't prove it. But yeah. Will you testify? She looks at me, eyes red. If you can guarantee my daughter's safety. I can't guarantee anything, but I can promise that if you don't, Ava walks and you go to prison alone. She nods, slowly. Okay, I'll do it. I drive home, thumb drive in my pocket, feeling the weight of what's about to happen. The wedding is on Saturday, at a seaside banquet hall called the Mariner. I arrive early, wearing the only suit I own, a grey one from a thrift shop that smells like mothballs. The hall is all white linen and string lights, 200 guests milling around with champagne flutes. I find a seat near the back. Daniel's on the dais, looking nervous, adjusting his tie every 30 seconds. Ava's in the bridal suite somewhere, probably rehearsing her vows. The ceremony starts. I sit through the readings, the rings, the kiss, applause. Then the reception begins. Dinner is served. I pick at my chicken, watching the head table. Daniel and Ava, glowing and perfect. Her stepdad, Gregory Hale, sitting 2 seats down, smiling like he owns the room. After dessert, the speeches start. best man, maid of honor. Then Ava stands, takes the mic. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, she says, voice smooth and practiced. Daniel and I are so grateful for your love and support. And I want to especially thank Frank, Daniel's father, for joining us despite everything. She looks right at me. The room goes quiet. Frank, we know you've had a hard year, and we want to help. In fact, we'd like to make an announcement. Daniel's face goes stiff. He didn't know this was coming. Frank, we're going to need your apartment keys. Tonight, we've arranged for movers to come Monday morning to help you transition to a more suitable living situation. We'll take care of everything. She smiles, holds out her hand. The room is silent, 200 people staring at me. I stand. No. Ava's smile tightens. I'm sorry? I said no. That's my home. You're not taking it. Frank, we're trying to help you. You're trying to erase me. She steps off the dais, walks toward me, mic still in hand. You're being unreasonable. I'm being sane. Her face hardens. Then, in front of everyone, she slaps me. The sound echoes through the hall. I don't move, just look at her. You just made a mistake, I say quietly. Then I pull out my phone and make one call. Warden Ellis. It's Frank Mallory. We're on. 10 minutes later, the main doors open. A corrections officer walks in, flanked by 2 state troopers. Behind them, in civilian clothes and cuffs, is Cal Berridge. And behind him, leaning on a cane, is Mr. Keene. The pharmacist from the robbery. The hall goes silent. Ava's face drains of color. Daniel stands, confused. Mr. Keene steps forward, slow and deliberate. He's 70, grey hair, kind eyes. He looks at Lena's empty chair at my table, then at the crowd. My name is Theodore Keene, he says, voice shaking. I was the victim of the robbery at Riverton General Clinic. I identified Lena Mallory as one of the perpetrators, and I was wrong. Gasps ripple through the room. I was guided during the lineup by a security consultant, a man named Pete Talbot. He showed me photos beforehand, told me what to look for. I trusted him. I shouldn't have. He looks at Ava. I've spent the last week reviewing evidence compiled by Frank Mallory. Surveillance footage, access logs, email records. The person who entered Bay 3 that night wasn't Lena Mallory. It was Ava Hale. The room explodes. Shouting. Movement. Daniel's staring at Ava, mouth open. That's insane, Ava shouts. This is a setup. I'm prepared to sign an affidavit, Mr. Keene says. And to testify in court, Lena Mallory is innocent. Ava drops the mic and bolts. She runs toward the caterer's corridor, heels clicking on the tile. I follow. The corridor is a maze. Industrial kitchen on one side, freezer storage on the other. Staff in white jackets scatter as Ava sprints through, me right behind her. She hits the freezer section, yanks open a heavy door, ducks inside. I follow. Cold air hits me like a fist. Ava's scrambling through the racks of hanging meat and stacked boxes, looking for another exit. I grab a rolling rack and shove it sideways, blocking her path. She turns, breathing hard. You've got no proof. I've got your emails, Nell's testimony, the footage, your stepdad's financial ties, and now Mr. Keene's recantation. She laughs, high and desperate. You're a felon. Nobody will believe you. They'll believe him. Talbot appears at the door, red-faced, hand on his belt. Mallory, back off. Or what? You'll plant more evidence? He moves toward me. I grab a metal tray, swing it. He ducks, grabs my arm. We grapple, sliding on the icy floor. I twist, use his momentum, shove him into a shelving unit. Boxes tumble. Ava's fumbling with her phone, trying to wipe it. I lunge, grab her wrist. Too late. Nell already backed it up. She stares at me, realization dawning. Behind us, the state troopers enter, weapons drawn. Everybody on the ground, now. Ava drops. Talbot drops. I raise my hands, step back. The troopers cuff Ava and Talbot. The guests are pouring into the corridor, phones out, filming. Maya's near the front, live blogging. I walk back to the main hall. Daniel's still on the dais, frozen. I climb the steps, take the mic. My name is Frank Mallory. Some of you know me as the ex-con, the troublemaker, the guy who did 3 years for assault. And yeah, I'm all those things. But I'm also Lena Mallory's grandfather. And for the last month, I've been digging into the robbery that put her away. I pull out my notebook. Here's what I found. A crooked corrections officer named Pete Talbot, a desperate inventory supervisor named Nell Crawford, a security vendor owned by Ava's stepdad, and a plan to stage a robbery to justify new contracts and make Ava's PR firm indispensable. I look at Daniel, and a city procurement officer who signed off on the vendor switch 2 days before it happened. Daniel's shaking his head. I didn't know, Dad, I swear. Maybe you didn't, but you didn't ask questions either. You just wanted to look good for your new family. I hold up a document. This is an ethics complaint, filed with the state board. Your fast-tracked contracts, your failure to disclose conflicts of interest, all of it's in here. You're done, Daniel. He sinks into his chair. I turn to Gregory Hale. And you, I've got financial records linking your company to the loan shark squeezing Nell Crawford. Conspiracy, evidence tampering, witness intimidation. The AG's office is already building the case. Hale stands, face purple. You can't prove any of this. I just did. Sirens outside, more troopers, the AG's investigative unit. I step off the dais, walk to Daniel, and shove him. Not hard, just enough to send him stumbling back into a dessert cart. Whipped cream and frosting everywhere. That's for Lena, I say. Talbot lunges from the corner, grabbing a steak knife from a table. Not to stab me, to cut my evidence binder, scatter the pages. Security tackles him before he gets close. The AG's lead investigator, a woman named Paris, takes my statement in the parking lot while the guests file out, dazed and whispering. Inside, crime scene techs are photographing everything. Mr. Mallory, you've done remarkable work here, Paris says, but you've also crossed a lot of lines. Illegally obtained evidence, unauthorized surveillance, intimidation. I know. We'll have to sort through what's admissible, but based on Mr. Keene's recantation and the documentary evidence, we're filing a motion to vacate Lena's conviction. It'll take time, but she should be out within 90 days. Not good enough. It's the best I can do. I nod. Then I'll take it. Meyer appears, camera in hand. Frank, can I get a statement? Print this. Ava Hale orchestrated a fake robbery to enrich her family's company and advance her career. My granddaughter was collateral damage. Justice is coming, but it took an ex-con with a toolbox to make it happen. She grins. Perfect. Daniel stumbles out of the hall, covered in frosting, eyes hollow. He sees me, stops. Dad, don't. We're done. I didn't know what she was doing. You have to believe me. I don't have to believe anything. I pull a document from my jacket. This is a petition to remove you as trustee of the family estate. My lawyer filed it this morning. You're out. He takes it, hand shaking. And one more thing. I'm changing the locks on my apartment tomorrow. You and Ava aren't welcome. I turn to leave. He grabs my arm. Please, Dad, I'm your son. I look at him, at the man I raised, the man who chose ambition over family. No, I say, you're a stranger who happens to share my name. I walk away. The loading dock behind the banquet hall is chaos. News vans, police cruisers, guests milling around in formal wear. Ava's being loaded into a state police vehicle, hands cuffed behind her back. She's screaming about lawyers and lawsuits. I'm standing near my truck when I see it. The catering van, engine running, back doors open. Their luggage is inside. Ava must have planned a quick getaway. I move fast. I climb into the driver's seat, shift into gear, start to pull out. But I don't get far. I jump onto the running board as the van lurches forward, yank the hood release, pop it, and grab the battery ground cable. One hard pull. The cable comes free. The engine dies. The van coasts to a stop, horn blaring from the short circuit. Guests pour out of the hall, phones up, filming. I stand on the running board, holding the cable like a trophy. Paris appears, flanked by troopers. She's trying not to smile. Mr. Mallory, step down from the vehicle. I do. She takes the cable, bags it as evidence. Then I pull a document from my jacket. This is Lena's expungement motion, filed 2 hours ago by the AG's Office Counsel, based on Mr. Keene's recantation and new evidence. I hold it up for the cameras. My granddaughter's record is being wiped clean. Ava Hale's going to prison, and everyone who helped her is going down too. I look at the crowd, at Daniel, still covered in frosting, at Gregory Hale, being read his rights, at Talbot, already in cuffs. Then I pull out my apartment keys, hold them up. You wanted my keys, Ava. Here. Take the ones that fit the handcuffs. I toss them at her feet. Sirens wash the walls. Red and blue light everywhere. Ava's being put into the cruiser, screaming. Daniel's on his knees, sobbing. The guests are filming, posting, spreading the story across the internet in real time. Maya's next to me, typing furiously on her phone. This is the biggest story Riverton's ever seen, she says. Good. Let everyone know what happens when you frame an innocent kid. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Granddad? It's Lena. Voice shaking, disbelieving. They told me. The warden just told me. They're filing the motion. I'm coming home. My throat tightens. I know, kid. I know. How did you do it? I went back to prison, and I didn't leave until I found the truth. She's crying now. I love you, Granddad. I love you too. I hang up, look at the chaos around me, the flashing lights, the cameras, the wreckage of Daniel's life. I feel no guilt, no regret, just the cold satisfaction of a job finished. I climb into my truck, start the engine, and drive away from the sirens and the ruins of my son's wedding. Riverton disappears in my rearview mirror. Ahead, the road is dark and empty, but somewhere in that darkness, my granddaughter is waiting to come home, and I'll be there when she does.